and welcome back to EclipseClan. Today we are picking up where we left off. So last time we ended up ending the war with the other clan with very minimal problems, luckily. But some inner workings did come out, which resulted in our deputy Cloverpelt turning in her own blood to Shortburn, which is cementing some ties that we may be having in the clan. We are still struggling with our numbers, as per usual, but we have quite a few kits and apprentices upcoming, so without any intervention, they will likely perpetrate Shortburn's own views. We will continue on and see what happens here. We do have rogues and exiles at our borders that are also looking for any way into the clan that they can get. So that is going to be something to consider as well. We do have some new events added into the generator. Of course, it's all still chance, so we may not even roll it. We do have some events that could lead to, I guess, beginning of the end or final confrontation coming into play now. So we could see this episode, next episode, we may never even get there before something else happens to Shortburn. So all we can do is see where the dice land. But we'll go ahead and start off small to time skip. Alrighty, so it looks like this is a pretty eventful moon. Sleekpaw sits beside their new mentor, Milkweed Bite, as the meeting comes to a close. Their claws dig into the ground as they glare up at the sky, wondering why Carnation couldn't be there with them at such an important moment. Sycamore Paw hopes that Carnation is watching in pride from StarClan as their apprentice to Gravel Arch. Clift Apple and Cougar Speckle found a single kitten and decided to adopt it. Condor Fern and Cloverpelt found a litter of 4 kits and decided to adopt them. So now Cloverpelt also has something else to fight for, which is her adopted litter now. We still don't have enough healthy medicine cats. Seeing how Shortburn is slow to get up in the morning, Cougar Speckle brings some pain relief herbs for their twisted leg. Shypelt is no longer in shock. Weedpaw no longer has White Claw. Pongdrift is happy to feel their body pain-free. It seems their broken bone has finally healed. So back to solo border patrol, sorry Pongdrift. The Butterfly Clan medicine cat comes asking if we have any Daisy to spare. However, we only have enough for ourselves and we refuse to do so. Milkweed Bite found a mysterious poppy growing in the frost and decided to wear it. That's an interesting... No, but it looks like it's just a regular poppy. No special frost poppies or anything like that. I do think it'd be cool if they added accessories like that, where you could get special accessories through certain highlighted events, or maybe even specific patrols. It could be something that doesn't exist, or something that's mythical, or just something a bit rarer, but I think that would be really cool to add. Shortburn is thinking about exiling elders from now on. We already don't have elders, so nothing much there. Cloverpelt is dropping on Lynx Paw, so hopefully Lynx Paw isn't saying anything they shouldn't be saying around Cloverpelt. I feel like Cougar Speckle doesn't really support Shortburn, but being responsible and just the kind of medicine cat that he is, I feel like he has a very big sense of obligation or duty to actually carry everything out. So I think that's kind of Cougar Speckle's current mentality, even if he doesn't agree with Shortburn, which I really don't think Cougar Speckle does. And looks like Pongdrift is into their Elder Morph. I don't think I noticed while they were hurt though. Strike Smoke is feeling a sense of dread. Hopefully that isn't some kind of premonition about anything. Luckily for Lynx Paw, they're complimenting another apprentice on their hunting crouch, so it doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy for Cloverpelt to latch on to. Branch Paw has been training very hard recently, so it sounds like Branch Paw, despite their childish nature, may be feeling a lot more pressure to fit into the clan, and may just feel like the clan's morals are aligned with their own. Meanwhile, Bogpaw is refusing to follow their mentor's orders. So here's Sleek Paw now, grown up. Saw some wandering two legs today. Thoughtful and a careful listener. And then here's Sycamore Paw, who's feeling lazy. Confident and the moss ball hunter. So their adopted parents are Cliffdapple and Cougar Speckle. Cougar Speckle is obviously Medicine Cat, and then Cliffdapple is a warrior. Despite having Weedpaw here, I think we do need to have another Medicine Cat apprentice just to help keep things going. So I'm thinking between these two. Sleekpaw seems a bit more introspective, so I think we'll make her Medicine Cat apprentice under Cougar Speckle. And Sycamore Paw can be a warrior apprentice under Cliffdapple. I think that'll be a pretty good mentality to go with there. Cliffdapple also has a hunting nature, so maybe she can help out Sycamore Paw to develop that a bit better. Okay, so here's our other kits here. I'll start off with the other ones, a bit more grown up. We've got Fly Kit, who wants to be big someday. Grew to be quiet, never sit still. Pea Kit, who's sitting all alone. Lonesome, fittingly enough, and oddly observant. Sandy Kit, who grew out of some of that sandy coloration. But she's polite, never sits still, and would never dream of being in trouble. Now for our new additions. Here we have Bitter Kit, newborn male, sweet, black Sakoki pelt with some white markings on the face and sage eyes. Looks like their biological parent here was Bloom, who was a loner, charismatic, clever, and a good hunter. I'll keep his name as Bitter Kit for now, just given the nature of where things could be going. I can see this becoming kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy of some sort. Kind of like how Broken Tail becomes Broken Star and does all the stuff that he does. So I'll actually keep the same. I think it could have some storytelling merits at some point down the line, despite his nature being sweet. And then we have the adopted kits from Condor Fern and Clover Pelt here. Their parent was Spring, a black ticked cat with gold eyes, though they definitely share coloration with Spring. The first kit here, Blue Kit, definitely shares some base coloration with Condor Fern. So I can definitely see that couple also seeing themselves in this litter in that way. So Blue Kit is newborn male with cyan eyes, a single color bluish gray pelt, who is bossy. Up next we have Lemon Kit, who I'm going to rename to something else. Burnt, sure. That could also be honestly honoring Short Burn, Burnt Kit. Newborn male with yellow eyes, a ticked pelt. So that'll be kind of a mini-me for Spring. He's insecure. Then we have Raven Kit, who is a newborn male with gold eyes and mackerel pelt. Insecure. And finally we have a Yellow Kit. I'm gonna change her name. And then finally we'll have Hollow Kit instead of Yellow Kit. Newborn female with gold eyes and a ticked pelt. Again, probably kind of a mini-me as Spring. Know-it-all. Okay, I don't think we'll ever say no to more paws on deck. I'm gonna go ahead and save, and we'll see what our generator has in store for us. Oh, well, that is not something I would have considered. Okay, so Cone, Speck, and Peakfur are chased from the territory where they were caught stealing prey. Shortburn, upon hearing this news, hisses and lashes out the patrol leader, Condor Fern, not stopping until they are with their ancestors. Okay, so I don't know if Shortburn is just so mad that she doesn't even know her own strength, or if she just doesn't care, or if there's some callous part of her that just is so offset by any failure or perceived failure that she just doesn't care anymore. But Condor Fern, who just adopted a litter with Cloverpelt and Shortburn's own daughter, is attacked relentlessly, probably too shocked by this turn of events to even fight back or defend herself in any meaningful way until it's too late. And she actually dies of her wounds that her own mother inflicts. Oh gosh. Yeah, so like I said, nobody is safe, and this highlights that immensely. So, I never would have thought we'd be here, but we'll go ahead and honor the generator. Oh, this is gonna change a lot of things. Okay, so Condor Fern was killed by Shortburn in a fit of madness when she reports back a perceived failure regarding the clan's outsiders. This is gonna be a domino effect. Shortburn and Cloverpelt are both immediately grief-stricken, which isn't surprising, but look how much she loved Condor Fern. Yeah, so it's not surprising that they're both immediately distraught by this. I think Shortburn, when she gets over whatever fit she's in, looks down at the blood covering her paws and nudges Condor Fern to try and get her to move, to get any response at all, really. And Condor Fern just lies there, bleeding still from the many wounds that Shortburn inflicted. Shortburn can't really seem to handle what she's done and cries out, basically yowling in the middle of the clearing about her own actions. Cloverpelt comes over to see what happens and just sits there stricken before quietly retiring to her own den. Eventually, another warrior comes along and takes Shortburn up to her nest, setting her down where her eyes are glazed over and unfocused. The warriors clean up the mess and bury Condor Fern, and a few kind of mutter around to one another, wondering exactly what this means. Has Shortburn finally snapped? In any case, they now know that none of them are truly going to be safe. Everybody is immensely uneasy as they go about their regular duties. It's still Leafbearer though, and the clan must be fed and protected. And the cost of failure definitely seems to be at the forefront of everybody's minds. Okay, just for transparency too, there's more ways than that particular interaction could have gone, so we rolled the most unlikely outcome, but that's what happened. So that's what we're going with. Cougar Speckle takes the other two out to try and gather some herbs, but it starts pouring rain while they're out. Eventually, Cougar Speckle also has to admit defeat and lead the apprentices home. Freeze Ice really helps Serpent Paw gain confidence working with other cats, so Clipped Apple takes Sycamore Paw out. No matter how patiently Clipped Apple tries to teach Sycamore Paw how to firmly but gently gather and shred moss, they don't seem to be paying attention. Frustrated with them, Clipped Apple decides to have a talk with the leader upon their return to camp. I feel like that resolution would be before seeing the destruction in the camp, and Clipped Apple either immediately rethinks that decision and decides not to talk to Shortburn, or upon talking to Shortburn, finds her catatonic and non-responsive and leaves. So, no problem with Sycamore Paw. McGaster is still unwell, so Branch Paw and Bog Paw are left to their own devices to practice new fighting techniques. And they have a good practice session. Gravelarge leads a patrol out into the territory. We follow some paw prints to a trespassing rogue and confront them. Intimidated by confidence in the number of cats, the rogue gives in and leaves without a fight. At least it's a small victory. And then Pongdrift is left on her own. Goes down to the forest alone, wanting to make a quick check on the border. There's a particular spot where a stream crosses from EclipseClan's forest with Thrush Clan, where the spray from the stream's little tumbling rapids wipes the territory marks particularly quickly. We remark it and head home. Alrighty. Alright, moving into Moon 88. No parent wants to outlive their child, and Shortburn wails over Condor Fern's body. Shortburn can't be bothered to get up out of their nest the next day, refusing to speak a word to those around them. Cloverpelt lies next to Condor Fern as the clan sits vigil for them. Their world has ended with Condor Fern. Oh no. Cloverpelt makes a point of removing foliage from Condor Fern's nest, snapping at any hindrance. Their paws tremble over the material, distraught when they realize how fast Condor Fern's scent is fading. I feel like Cloverpelt is going to have kind of a gray stripe response to this grief. She's going to probably really mourn Condor Fern, but then when is reminded about the kits that they were going to care for and put their futures into, I think she's going to kind of hyper-focus in on that. But until then, I think her world is just going to be completely shut out. And this past moon, Condor Fern has taken her place in the afterlife. They must have put a foot wrong or something. Joints in Cougar Speckle's weak leg feel inflamed and painful. The Thrush Clan Messin Cat comes asking if we have any tansy to spare, but we refuse to share. And Sleekpaw has realized that She-Cat doesn't describe how they feel anymore. Okay. Alrighty, Shortburn is still her violent self despite her grief. Currently encouraging warriors to destroy other clans' herb supplies. And Cloverpelt is feeling overworked. Both of them, I think, are definitely channeling their grief into weird areas right now. So it looks like Sleekpaw now identifies as male. And he is currently wondering if he's good enough to become a medicine cat. I feel like he's definitely got a lot of potential. Shark Smoke is sharpening his claws. I think he is anticipating an upcoming fight or a possible need to defend himself. Given his premonition at the start of last moon, I think he may be onto something. Freeze Ice is talking to himself. He's honestly still probably reeling from events, as are a lot of other members of the clan. Shypelt, however, told a fond story at Condor Fern's vigil. Elder Speck similarly is sharpening her claws to look stronger. Serpentpaw is resting in the sun after a long day of training. Bogpaw is dreaming of someday making their clan proud. Is this the kind of clan you really want to make proud, Bogpaw? Sycamorepaw, in true sibling fashion, is playing a prank on Sleekpaw. Piper Kit doesn't want to grow up yet. Unfortunately, he is very close to his apprentice ceremony. Here's Bitter Kit, bit more grown up. He grew to be a moss ball hunter, still sweet though. And he definitely is growing into like a kind of shadow forested look, so Bitter I don't think is not fitting. Blue Kit definitely looks like a blue kit. He's bossy and a lover of stories and is currently mad no one is listening to him. Burnt Kid is insecure but quick to make peace, and he's currently hiding in a nursery. I feel like having a prefix Burnt in this clan, especially what was supposed to be an honor, Shortburn, is really going to put him under a microscope, and I think that is not going to affect him very well. Raven Kid is also insecure. Also a Mossball Hunter, doesn't think he will ever be made an apprentice. Hollow Kit turned out to be a know-it-all avid play fighter, and is correcting Strike Smoke on something trivial. At least we have cute kits, but we'll see what other horrors our generator has in mind today. Okay. Ronald Hart and Cone Speck are chased from the territory where they were caught stealing prey. Shortburn readily welcomes the clan cats back, her thoughts distant. Probably still dwelling on what she just did with Condor Fern, and maybe reflecting that chasing off rogues is all that is feasible for any cat to do. Was she too harsh? Should she treat everybody equally? Is there some other greater threat with these rogues? Shortburn definitely seems to be mulling over it, whatever it is. All the Messin Cats go out, and Sleekpaw discusses a dream that they had. The cats have an in-depth conversation about the vision as they walk. By the time they head back, they have a good idea of what they should do with the information, as well as encampment and elder leaves. Pongdrift finds a wounded cat near the Thunder Path. Given current standings, I think Pongdrift will take them back. We approach the injured cat and see signs of life. Alarmed, we gently pick up the cat and take them back to camp for treatment. Nevea Claw has joined the clan. Nevea Claw, and our reputation with outsiders is improved. So here's Nevea Claw. He is a young adult with silver eyes and a smoke black and white pelt. He is sneaky, which is good for our clan, fast runner, and a good hunter. He's injured with a broken jaw, so he'll be down for a while. But this is what he looks like healthy. I feel like there's not enough black and white cats in ClanGen like this. If he had a white tip tail, I think he'd be pretty passable for a Tallstar clone though. Regardless, I do like his looks. Clipped Apple takes Sycamore Paw out for some fight training. Probably wants to make sure that Sycamore Paw can defend himself. And they have a good practice session, swapping tips and tricks. Bogpaw and Branchpaw are once again on their own. They are collecting moss today for the Elder's Den. Realistically, probably the medicine cats. And Branchpaw admits that the strange dreams they've been having is why they kicked Bogpaw in the night. That's kinda odd. Bogpaw hastens to add that maybe it doesn't mean it's bad, but maybe they should tell their mentors about this. Could be something to do with StarClan. Freeze Ice wants to hold a training session for Serpent Paw, and they decide to focus on tree climbing. Serpent Paw manages to get into the tree, but climbing back down proves to be a problem. Inevitably. As the patrol heads out into the forest to hunt, Strike Smoke seems to be absolutely unconcerned with their duties, instead ambling along as though the prey is going to waltz into their paws. Strike Smoke is walking a dangerous line. It is a leaf bear, and given everything, he knows the cost of failure here. So I really hope for his sake he's not overestimating his own abilities. Strike Smoke doesn't bring much home, impressing nobody. Much implies that there was some, so I don't know if that's enough to fully warrant anything. But I don't think that Shortburn is in a very forgiving mood. Upon returning to camp at the very meager catch to show for it, the patrol goes up to Shortburn Cloverpelt to report back on Strike Smoke's behavior and the distraction they were causing during the patrol. Shortburn seems far away, but seems to focus in just a little bit upon seeing the slim offerings. Strike Smoke, who is a good speaker, however, immediately steps up and hastens to add that the patrol may be over-exaggerating some of their shortcomings, and while it wasn't the best catch ever, it is Leaf Bear, they did come back with something. They could just as easily have been coming back with nothing, so how bad could Strike Smoke have really been distracting the patrol? The patrol doesn't really want to press the issue, and Shortburn seems distant and disinterested. Strike Smoke saunters back over to his nest in the warrior's den, convinced that he's gotten away with the deceit. But a pair of eyes watches him go closely. It seems that not all of the cats here are going to immediately forget about this little incident. And I think that's where we'll go ahead and leave it off for today. I'm sorry if this is a little bit shorter. There's been a whole festival thing going on outside all day, so I didn't have as much time for recording as usual. So hopefully we're still on track to get some very interesting things that will happen. And every episode, it's going to get progressively worse with the rogues until the conclusion comes. So I really hope that you guys are enjoying. If you have any ideas for rogue encounters, you can always give me them in the comments down below. Additionally, if you have any thoughts about what happened today or why Shortburn may have done what she did, feel free to theorize in the comments below. This is a story we're kind of crafting as we go, and I'd like to do it together with you. That was genuinely out of left field for me too, so I'm trying to kind of piece together Shortburn's own motives. Maybe Shortburn's motives are something that Shortburn herself doesn't even really understand. So we can kind of establish that together. But in either case, feel free to check out all the descriptions, like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual stuff here. And until next time, stay safe and happy. I'll see you all then. And bye!